Oh my goodness, what's going on here? ちょっと待って、やばいやばい。やっべえですわ、はい。もうちょっと、おし。はい、では。はい、皆様ごきげんよう、私はです。もう、はい、って音でね、全然準備ができてないのがバレてしまいましたけれども、I am so sorry, you probably just saw that I really didn't have this planned. テラさん、ダミアノさん、ハッキーさん、デルフィナさん、トリプルマーテックさん、レッドウィックさん、スーパーブラストさん、ごきげんよう。Long time no see. It's like we never left. It's like you never left. Been a while. What you been up to? なんかね、なかなか久しぶりな気がしないんですけれども、皆様ご機嫌いかがでございますか？アジアカさん、アニョン、welcome。はい。よし。はい、カエさんもようこそいらっしゃいました。Welcome. Wait, you can see me, right? だって、like, I don't really know how much of a lag we got. ラグとかあんまないかな？大丈夫そう？よいしょ。あ、セラさんお久でございます。Long time noisy. Yes, we can see you good. Real quick, how was the last stream? Was there times that it stopped? Like, how was it in regards to the flawless of it? Like, flowiness of it? そう、ちなみになんですけど、前の配信どうでした？画質とか、あと途中で狂わなかったかとか、no lag, no stopping, perfect audio. Okay, it was flawless. Like, was I moving smooth enough? Maybe I don't really need like 60 FPS. Maybe that's a bit too much for a stream, huh? Yes, okay. Oh, by the way, hi, Jay-san. よいしょ。鼻がかゆい。大丈夫そうだったんだ。よかった。Well, if that's the case, maybe I'll like keep the setting for now. And maybe I'll start, you know, I really don't know which to get first, a new computer or a new iPhone. I mean, either way, like, I have to start saving again from scratch, but like, I just don't know what's a better option for me right now. I also have to like probably get a new MacBook because mine's kind of like losing its fastness and it kind of stops sometimes. そう。あとね、どっちを先に買えばいいのかわかんないんですよね。スマホ先に買うべきか、パソコン先に買うべきか、わかんなくて、あと普通に MacBook くんもね、多分寿命がひしひしと近づいてる。もう、満身創痍ですわ、私。まあ、でも防音室があるからね、いいんですけど。I mean, like, I do have my soundproof room, so we're good. We're good. We are good. はい。そう。Well, it has been a while. ちょっとね、前回の配信から、どれくらい経った？多分、1ヶ月ちょっと経ったかなと思うんですけど、I don't really remember how long it has been since our last follow-up stream. the only thing I know is that it has been a while. So yeah, I am here to apologize. I'm gonna try to do this again like every 2 weeks. And thank you so much for being consistent to those of you who has been consistent. Thank you so much for those who are following me on TikTok, or those who are still watching my YouTube videos. Really appreciate your presence. そう、あとですね、本当に前回のフォローアップ配信から半年も経ってない。1ヶ月ぐらい経っちゃってると思うんですけれども、皆様本当にありがとうございます。こちらの配信ですね、1時間から1時間半を予定しております。私もね、ちょっと明日、ちゃんと朝早くからお嬢様の、ウォークとかね、いろいろございますから、あんまり、長いはできないので。Again, like, I can't stay here for too long because I do have plans tomorrow morning, like, to walk little lady and stuff. So I am planning a stream that is about an hour to an hour and a half. Oh my goodness, it says the frame dropped. Oh, and then it went back. Okay, never mind. What's wrong with you? I made it for the follow-up stream. Yay, thankfully it just started. It really just started. Hi, not to you, son. Welcome. はい、ということで、for those of you who are new here, I'm guessing there might be a few of you who are new here. I don't know, hopefully there are. If so, welcome. Hi, I'm Mizuki. I'm a half-dog maid Japanese teacher VTuber, or language teacher VTuber. I am an English teacher, in a way. I have a degree, I have a certificate, I have a license. In terms of Japanese, I am currently studying to become a Japanese government certified licensed Japanese teacher. And so I am not licensed yet, but I do have a background in language education. And there is this challenge called Study with Mizuki 2025, where I challenge you to study 1,000 Japanese words or 1,000 words of any language that you are learning right now, new words, in the course of, like, I believe 8 months. 8 months, 250 days. That's 8 months, is it? A little over 8 months, I guess. So, yep, I started to lag behind actually. No! イエさん、ごきげんよう。お久しぶりです。もう最近ね、配信できてなかったもんでだってもんで。So this is a follow-up stream where I am here to answer your questions in terms of language studies, Japanese or English, and we're gonna look at your progress. It's been a while. It's already been like 3 months since the challenge has started, and so we're pretty deep in, I believe. So yeah. I am pretty sure a lot of you are realizing how hard it is to keep the consistency. I know how hard it is to keep the consistency because I'm really bad at it. Life happens, work happens, school happens, family happens. So we all know how hard it is. So don't be too hard on yourself. Do not beat yourself too hard. Beat yourself up too hard. If you are behind, that is totally okay. I mean, it will be great if you want to catch up and if you could catch up, but you're not getting grace for this. You're not getting paid for this. You didn't pay anything to join this. So life comes first, your health comes first. You won't be able to study or learn anything if your health isn't your first priority. So that's one thing I do want you to keep in mind. Phew, so I'm only 3 months behind. Yeah, you have 5 more months to catch up. You're good. I was afraid that since it has too much submissions to go through, so I didn't do my homework. I didn't do it. Hello, I'm still here. はい。ということで、こちらですね、私の、チャレンジ、Study with Mizuki 2025なんですけれども、英語ですね、日本語話者の方は、英語を、半年っていうか、250日っていう期間で、1000単語覚えようっていうチャレンジとなっております。でですね、こうやって本当は2週間に1回、日曜日にね、フォローアップ配信ってのするんですけれども、あまりにも、私、引っ越しとかいろいろございまして、ちょっとできていなかったんで、久しぶりになっちゃったんですけれども、はい。これからまた2週間に1回のスケジュールに戻りたいと思います。でですね、これ、一つね、覚えておいてほしい。 別にね、皆様これ、学費払ってやってるわけとかじゃないですし、もちろんね、いろいろ、金銭面でメンバーシップであったり、スパチャであったり、サポートしてくださる方もいらっしゃるので、なんか、学費払ってないみたいな、なんか、学費じゃないですけど、言い切っちゃうのもどうかと思うんですけど、ただ、なんていうか、10代の、なんか、言語学校、語学学校に行ってお金払ってやってるとかでもないですし、皆様ほとんどの方がね、学生さんであったり、社会人であるのは私も分かっておりますし、そろそろ気づいたんじゃないかと思います。毎日15分であれ5分であれ続けるって本当に難しいんですよね。で、皆様におきましては学校であったり、学業であったり、会社、お仕事であったり、家庭があったりとかいろいろあると思うので、別にもうできなかった、資格がないとかそんなん絶対思わないでほしい。難しさは私が一番分かってるつもりだから。OK? はい。Self-reporting to sensei. It is a self-reporting to me type situation going on. So, honesty is the best policy. Yes, just be honest with yourself. で、ただ、ここで諦めてほしくはないです。But I do want to make sure that you are not giving up right now. Like, I think this is always a thing, especially when you are a perfectionist. It's either 0 or 100, right? Like, there's honestly no such thing as 0 or 100 because, like, 1 is better than 0, and 30 is obviously better than 0, and 80 is way more better than, like, 50, you know? Like, just keep in mind that it is okay for you to not get your 1,000 words in, as long as you're learning something new. Like, just keep that in mind. And just don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like you are a failure just because you're not going to make that 1,000 words. I just need you to still learn. Because that is the beauty of learning a language. You just need to do something and you will still be better than who you were yesterday. あとこれ絶対ね、いつも思うの、特に完璧主義の方にあるあるだと思うんですけど、0か100かみたいな思ってない？ 0か100かじゃないんですよ。1は0よりいいし、10は0よりいいし、なんだったら33は5よりいいし、途中で1000たどり着けないって思ったからってそこで諦めちゃうのは絶対良くないと思うんですよね。わかる？だから今例えば始めて、でも1000間に合わないしなとか思ってももうわかる、気持ちはわかるんですけど、ただ今から始めたら昨日のあなたより今のあなたの方が良くなるんだから。で、今日始めて1日1単語でもいいんです。1日5分、1分勉強するのでもいいの。0より絶対いいんです。だからそれはね、絶対覚えておいてくださいましね。So, I just have a bad time management. Cause, case in point, I just pulled an all-nighter to play a new game. You gamers, I don't know what else to say other than, you're living a good life and I'm really happy for you. So true, I'll continue the challenge even if I end up at like 600 to 700. If there's unforeseen stuff. I feel like, ouch. Sorry, I keep on hitting myself. ごめんなさい、なんか机、あ、そうだ、机が手に入れました。Did I tell you I now have a desk? I am not in a ドラえもん situation. そう、私ね、ドラえもんじゃなくなった。私実はね、引っ越す前、押し入れで配信してたんです。押し入れの上段下段があるでしょ？あそこの狭間の、板？あれを机代わりにして配信してたんですよ。それがね、デスクを買ったんです。だからもうドラえもんじゃないの。しかもあれすっごい中途半端なんですよ。すっごい肩痛かった。Sorry, before we start, I know it's already like almost like 10:30, but I just need you to know, I have a table, I have a desk. I am not streaming from a closet, a Japanese style closet, like Doraemon style anymore. Like, I have an actual desk. Before this, I was using like the middle wood bracket thingy inside the Japanese closet. Like, if you know Doraemon, you know what I mean. Like, the thing that Doraemon sleeps on, that was my table. That was my desk. I was using that as a desk, but that is at a very weird height. So I constantly had back problems and shoulder problems because of it. I don't have that anymore. I have an actual desk. It's so nice. It is amazing. Sure. Yes. I used to have my PC in the closet as well, but now I have a desk. We all get upgrades in our lives. It's so nice. So I definitely intend to keep going to 1000 even after the official one. That is amazing. And I can tell you, I will promise you right now that you are going to be so much better at this language than you've started before. Like, obviously, but still. Congrats for the new desk. Thank you. So nice. Okay, this is how the stream is gonna go. Post showcase, post questions, Q&A, proofread. I'm gonna show you what you have, what you posted. And after that, I am going to try to answer some questions. And after that, if we have enough time, I am going to see if we have enough time for a Q&A session where you can just ask a bunch of questions to me, or we might just like do that as we go. I don't know. I'm still in June. So yeah. Any questions? で、後で何をするかってね、とりあえずなんですけれども、皆様のあれを見て、皆様のポストを見て、すげーって言って、質問とかあったら、それに答えるっていう感じでいきます。で、その質問なんですけれども、ポストからの質問を一応優先にはしておいて、それでね、もうちょっと時間があったら、それだけじゃなくて、もっといろいろと、いけたらなって思います。皆様の質問に答えたり。もちろん途中でちっちゃい質問あったらいつでも聞いてください。その後で答えられるようなものであったら、パッと答えます。もしね、長いアンサーが必要そうなものでありましたら、ちょっと配信の後にするか、後の方を後半にするかとかいろいろ考える可能性はあるんですけれども、ね。そう。よいしょ。Okay, we have a lot of, like, a bunch of posts. Gosh, you guys are amazing. あと思ってたよりすごいたくさんある。皆様本当に頑張ってくださってるんだな。私が何もしなかったのに。いや、何もしてなかったわけじゃないけど、でもこれに関しては何もしてなかったですからね。Okay, sorry, I just need to go through a little bit more. もうちょっと。So much posts. I'm on June 13th. 今、やっと6月13日。Okay. This might be way too much. We'll see what we can do. まあ、とりあえずできるところからやりましょうね。できるところから。ちょっと多いな、すごいな。感動ですわね、これ先にやっとけた話ですよね。それは本当にごめんなさい。おし。じゃあ、やりまってか？ Okay. Ouch. So, must be nice to be young. If I said like sit like that an hour and then complain. I definitely feel better at Japanese still though. 僕の日本語はみんなそんなこと言わないの。Okay. Yeah, there's a ton by now. I wish there was a better way to filter out the monsoon stuff than with that long search query. Oh, I know. Damiano-san like got us a way to filter out the monsoon. I feel really bad. About the hashtag that I made. When I first came up with it, I made sure that I looked up and there wasn't a single person or a single anything that was using this hashtag. So I was like, oh, cool. But I think the problem was that I came up with this idea of the hashtag in last year, not even when this year started. I just kept this in mind, and I didn't even look up until I posted the video. And once I looked up, I realized that there was a different I believe group that was using it. And so it was a bit too late for me, because I was already I already posted it and they're already using it, and I just want to apologize to the other group that is using it and to all of you. But it works, and the filter thing works, and thank you. Okay, ではね、やりますか。where is it? This one. Ow! How is this? Oh, there we go. Really bad at this. Okay, so, Dam-san. I always hear these words on anime, but I keep remembering どうして in this song called 愛ね暗いね。愛ね暗いね。いいですね。米津玄師。素晴らしい。One of my favorite Japanese songs. So, どうして You hear this in anime because どうして itself is not necessarily that normal of a term to use on a daily basis. I know you're probably like, what? But let me explain. The reason why どうして itself isn't necessarily an everyday term is because it has a very strong feeling to it. It's why? Imagine an anime character looking at its their friend or their family member who just killed somebody because they became a monster, and the anime character is just standing there being why? That's the feel どうして has. It's pretty strong. And so when we use it in real life in an everyday situation, we don't really just say どうして, we just say なんで? なんで is a lot more casual, or どうして something something ですか? You usually put why did this happen at the end of it after どうして. Sorry, I just scratched the mic. I can scratch the mic. Is this ASMR? 待って、今気づいた、これ。ASMR が。I don't know. So, imagining if your favorite bread is out of stock and you say どうして So, it's not でうして It's どうしてはい。どうして来なかった私はどうして書くんですかどうして is more of why. So, どうやって How is どうやってですね。Good job, Dam-san. Typo. So, okay, Glipper-san. Last line was when it feels much lighter than when you should water. That's when you should water it. Interesting. これパイナップルみたい。ね、これネギみたい。ネギみたいだね。ミクちゃんかないろいろ可愛い植物が売っています。売っています。売っています。small そうそう great job どうして is kind of dramatic, right? It is very dramatic. So どうしてってね割とドラマチックっていうかすごい衝撃を受けた時みたいな実際カジュアルに使うのであればなんでとかどうして何々なんですかみたいな感じでその後に文章が続くことが多いですね。By the way, I don't know if you can see, but Gleipner-san here, one thing I see from his entries from last year is that there's a lot more, I don't know, structure in his notes, and I think a lot of times we forget about mentioning this or thinking about this. これ私ね、気づいたことなんですけど、グレイプナーさん、去年もね、参加してくださってるんですよね。こちらの、チャレンジに。で、一つ気づいたのが、ノートっていうか、ノートの取り方が、もっと、なんて言うんだろう。なんか、オリジナルっぽくなってるのと、綺麗になってる。多分なんですけれども、色も少しずつ自分の色ができてきたんじゃないでしょうか。One thing I realized, as I study for myself, and also as I look and witness other people studying for a long period of time, is that we tend to make up our own rules for our note taking. Some people like to take notes as like actual notes, like just scribbles, because that's the best way for them to remember things. Some of us really like to do color coordinations, and in a way that will actually make sense to us, right? And I think that's one thing you want to keep in mind, is that when you start studying something, like in many cases you don't really have that structure yet, but once you start learning a lot, like learning for a longer period of time, you start to get that structure that makes more sense for you. And I think that is really important. And I also think this is important to note, because I see a lot of note-taking hacks and stuff on places like Pinterest and Instagram. And one thing I see is that a lot of people just try to follow the aesthetics of a certain person that is really good at making their notes pretty. But it's not always the aesthetics. Like, we do need aesthetics if we're into aesthetics. Like, I like my notes clean, but that is not necessarily the best way to keep your notes like usable, right? So I really like being able to see the growth in note taking too, like seeing all the personalization in it. So なんか特に日本だとありがちなんじゃないかなと思うんですけど、なんか東大生のノートの取り方はこれみたいなあるじゃないですか。そう。なんか、私、あれ悪くないと思うんですけど、ただ、長期間自分のために勉強してて、発展してくるっていうのがノートの取り方だと思うんですよね。そのノートの取り方っていうのが、自分でこの色はこういう時に使うとか、なんかもっと効率よくノートが取れるようになったり、ノートって別に綺麗に取らなくてもいいわけじゃないですか。人によっては落書きみたいにグワーって書くのが一番効率的に自分で自分のものにできるね、方法であったりするわけだから。ただ私ね、こうやって他の方が勉強してるのを見てて一番好きなのがこうやってノートの取り方の変化を見ることなんですよね。あ、この人はこうやってもっと効率よくなんかしてるんだみたいなのが見えるのがすごく好き。Oh man, here it goes. I actually might need to stop or do less now. Why? A coworker quit and I was assigned to summer courses. On top of that, my schedule got crazy because of the... Oh my gosh, I saw your tweet. I'm sorry, I didn't respond to it, but no worries. Don't. Like, I know work comes first. Work comes first. But I just want you to know that I really like the way you take notes. Note-taking is very personal, and yeah, it grows and we can add tools to it, yes. Yeah, everyone learns differently, so it's best to find your own thing, but taking tips from others is a start if you don't know. Yes, taking tips from others is definitely a great way to start. My personal way of taking notes is that I take notes thinking that I'm making a new textbook. Like, especially when there's no textbook and I'm just like studying off from a video or a book. Or like, when I'm combining a lot of books into my studies, I like to imagine that I'm making a new textbook to publish for others. Because for me, the best way for me to learn is when I feel like I am teaching other people. Or when I actually teach others, that is my best way of learning. And so I always take notes thinking that I'm making a new textbook, because then I can go back and my notes actually make sense to me, because I make it so that it will make sense to others. And it's a better way and easier way for me to memorize things and make things my own knowledge, if that makes sense. そう、ちなみにノートって別に取り方がわからない場合って他の人がこうやってんだよっていうのを真似するのは全然いいんですよ。ただそれが全てだと思うのが悪いっていうか良くないことなんじゃないかなと私は思ってまして。それで、私はこれ向いてないとか、僕これ向いてるみたいな感じで、どんどん取捨選択をしてって、その中で自分にとって一番効率いい方法がね、できてくってのが素敵なことなんじゃないかなって思います。So, I made something up and I also used printing paper, not notebook paper. Oh, some printing paper is so nice to write on. I thought about switching, but now it feels wrong. Hey, what you feel best is always what works best. And then there's me who uses docs and Excel sheets. But if it works for you, it works. I'm just analog. I really like to write. Like, writing makes sense to me. Treating it like textbooks creation probably help with streams and videos. It really does. It really does. Especially when I need a good structure. Rainy day over here in Mexico. お酒を飲むためのものです。いいですね。杯にコイン置くと、さあ次は飲めるでしょうか。飲めましたね。このハガキ、持ち悪いですね。この歯が気持ち悪いですね。これは面白いですね。いや、すごいな。ここに顔なしがいます。そういうこと。わかりました。わかった。これは、顔なしの貯金箱のことですね。あれですよね。杯型のところにコイン置いて顔なしがタンタンタンタンタンタンタンタンって言いながら飲むやつで。読みますよ。ここに顔なしがいます。顔なしが持っているお皿を杯と言います。お酒を飲むためのものです。杯にコインを置くと、さあ次は飲めるでしょうか。by the way, this unique duck ten here. 飲めましたね。この歯が気持ち悪いですね。これは面白いですね。貯金箱だそう。Now, soft story aside, I still struggle to get some time properly lined and spaced up. It's okay. It's hard to be an adult. 水木天才分かっちまったぜ。こういうアハ体験いいですね。Okay, found that I can stack amari and seed, but 先生助けてください。amari equals too much, not much, not very, always in a bad way. あまり長い too long, あまり楽しい and あまり楽しくない not much fun, thought the first minute too much fun. あまり itself is negative. あまりにも makes it positive. It's like so fun, but you usually have some negative stuff comes after it. Like, you know, it's so fun, I'm a bit scared. あまりにも楽しすぎて怖い。あまりにも美味しい。Never mind, you can be positive. あまり itself, when you use あまり, it's usually used for something negative. It's like you don't have something enough. Like, it's not enough. You're lacking something. That's the idea or like the feel that you want to have when you use あまり. When you use あまりにも, then it can become positive. Let's write that down. これ書けましょう。いい質問ですね。あまりとすぎる。あまり食べすぎる。あまり聞きません。すぎる。やっぱあまり持って。あまりすぎる。あまりすぎるか。あまり、長すぎる。So, あまりすぎる actually can't go with each other if you're using them as like conjugation forms. Like, you can say, for example, あまり itself means leftovers. So, for example, you can say something like あまりすぎる in terms of trying to explain the fact that there's too many leftovers because すぎる means like too much. So that works, but you can't actually use あまり and すぎる together if you're conjugating すぎる onto something else. So, okay. So, あまりwait, what was the question? 待って、何でしたっけ、質問。あまり楽しい、あまり楽しくない。Yeah, so, あまりは割とネガティブですね。あまり楽しくないとか、あんまり好きじゃないとか、あんまり楽しいとか、あまり美味しいとかは言わないですからね。あんまり is used for when you are wanting to explain something negative. You can say あんまりにも or あまりにも when you want to say something positive. For example, あまりにも美味しい。It is just beyond good. So good. This. はい。ってことで、あまりってよく考えるとこんがらがるね。割とこんがらがりますね。あまり time in the day. You don't have much time in the day. That will be あまり時間がない。あまり時間がないです。I saw someone write あまり食べすぎる。That's why I thought I can combine them. あまり食べすぎる。あまり食べすぎるは言わないですわよね。それか、wait, let's ask the youngsters here. セラさんあまり食べすぎるって聞いたことあります？もしかしたら私が、認識してない若者言葉の可能性がある。こういうのがあるんですよ。言語にはね、新しい表現方法とか若者言葉があって、それが定着していくことがあるから、もしかしたら私が年齢を重ねてしまいすぎてばかりに知らない表現なのかもしれない。あまり食べすぎると良くないよ。ああ、それか。天才。ありがとうございます。セラさんがあれ。OK。あまり食べすぎないように。確かに。OK。あまり食べすぎる itself won't work. You need more and it will make sense. No.3 さん、good evening.セラさんand デルフィナさん here saying あまり食べすぎると良くないよ。食べすぎる you can't stop there because あまり食べすぎる means like to eat too much. But then you add 良くない which means not good. That's the negative part. So あまりthat negative comes at the very end. 良くない。It's not so good to do what? To eat too much. 食べすぎる。あまり食べすぎないように、デルフィナさん said あまり食べすぎないように。ように means not to do, like in order to do. In this case, 食べすぎないように。ないように in order not to do. あまり too much, right? So, あまり食べすぎないように。Try not to eat too much is what this means. I had an aha moment too. 私一人の脳みそではとてもここまでたどり着けませんでした。皆様に感謝。そう、あまり食べ過ぎると良くないよってよくママ優しい。そう。同音異義が多い。同音異義多いですね。同音異義は確かにね。同音異義語も多いけど、こういう、なんて言うんだろう。途中までだと意味をなさないみたいなのも多いですね。So one thing to keep in mind, あまり when you always want a negative after あまり。そうそう。But you can add something in between, which in this case was 食べ過ぎる。Which would be an extra explanation to what you shouldn't do. You can change this a lot, like あまり飲みすぎると良くないよ。あまり飲みすぎる to drink too much. It's not good to drink too much, whether if it's water or alcohol. あまり飲みすぎると良くないよ。とか、あまり寝すぎると良くないよ。あまり寝すぎないように。寝る to sleep, right?It's not good to sleep too much. Try not to sleep too much. あまり配信しすぎると良くないよ。It might not be good to stream too much. あまりゲームしすぎないように。Try not to play games too much. とかね。はい。いいやつでしたね。ありがとうございます。That was a good one. Thank you. よかった。Next, Astro Michael-san, just a few more practice exercises before I move on to katakana review. Katakana review! いいですね。Yes. カタカナイェイ It might be hard, but you will need katakana, especially if you are an anime otaku. ちなみにこれね、皆さんも忘れがちかもしれないんですけど、カタカナ、アニメ見る方だったら必須になってきますからね。You know what? Like, I know a lot of you might not like katakana too much, but you have to keep in mind that katakana is necessary, especially if you are into anime. Sorry, I really need to like drink some water. ごめんなさい、ちょっとお水飲ませていただきます。Okay, I'm back. My new mic has a mute button to it. ちなみに私の新しいマイクの後でミュートボタンがあって、すごくない？すごすぎる。そうそうそう。約束された勝利の剣イコールエクスカリバー、そうですよ。like Excalibur? エクスカリバー。あと長い名前ない？セバスチャンとかね。Was going to ask if you changed your mic. You sound better suddenly. I do sound better? Oh, good. Thank goodness. It was quite pricey. I used all my luck 10 points that I got from, like, the move. いや、もうマジでね、引っ越しのために大量に物を買って、そのポイント全部使って買いましたからね、このマイク。そうなんですよ。そう。ね。Okay, anyways.You do need katakana. Next, day 106 of learning Japanese. Whoa, I learned more about teiru and new kanjis to go with it. Still not too sure what's the difference with masu. No. Masu? Not to you, son. I don't know if you're here. Let me know if you still have a question on this. Masu. What's the difference with masu?Oh, ている。Okay. 食べている。Okay. I think I understand. 待ってね。The difference. こち亀の名前？こちら葛飾区亀有公園前発出所？Yes, I still do. Okay, let's go through this. What's the difference between masu then? ている or ていru's masu form is ています。Let's ask all of you, what is masu? What's the masu form? We often classify this as masu form when we talk about Japanese studies. But what is masu form? I think a lot of us do know that masu is something that comes at the end of a sentence, but then what is it? ではですね、マス形についてお話しましょう。ちなみになんですけれども、これね、勘違いされがちな気がする。私もね、今、勉強してる過程で気づいたことなんですけど、我々日本人が知っている日本語の文法と日本語教育において使われる文法の名前って違うんですよね。デスマス調のマスってのはよくマス形っていう言葉で表されます。これはマスっていうのがあまりにも接続が多いもので、これだけでかなりね、日本語学習者の方は難しい思いをされることがあるからだと言われています。Masu form is a polite form. It is a polite form. It is. So, what's the difference, first of all, between ている and ています? And what is masu conjugated on?ではですね、このマス形なんですけど、何に活用されるものか。ているとていますの違いはまず何かっての皆様わかりますか？ているとています。マスって理解しないとますます理解が難しくなりますね。マス、そう理解。何うまいこと言っとんねん。そうですよ。Nothing meaning-wise, just politeness. Yes, meaning-wise it means nothing, but it adds politeness. Masu is a form. Masu is a conjugation. It's something that you conjugate on verbs. そう、マスってのは動詞の活用になりますね。ちなみに動詞の 普通形のことを辞書形って呼んだりします。辞書形っていうのは、例えば、話しますじゃなくて話すであったり、食べるが辞書形、食べますがます形ですね。So for example, 話す talk, that's the normal, we often call it the dictionary form in Japanese. But the ます form of that will be 話します。食べる will be 食べます。First of all, that is what ます form is. Now, let's move on to ている。ていru's ます form is ています。So, first of all, there are two very different things. ます、ています、いる itself is a verb. In other words, the conjugated form of いる will be て like います which means ている ます form is ています。Does that make sense now to how this is two very different things? So, ている as in continuous form, yes. But to be in the state of something like 存在している to exist or 死んでいる to be dead, yes. So, ている form. ている form is often called, like Damiano-san said, continuous form. Or, to make it extra simple, I like to compare it to the ing form in English. I personally think it can be compared to the ing form of English. It obviously doesn't equal perfectly because they're two very different languages, but think about when you use ing forms. When you are working on something, like right now, like I am streaming, ing. 私は配信している。私は配信しています。配信します。ます itself is future tense. Like it can be like, present tense, but it's more of like now onto the future. ています is present. That's the biggest difference. I saw comparisons to ing, but then 死んでいる is an exception because it's not dying. Yes. Yeah. So that will help a lot in remembering. Yay. Oh, so it's difference between present tense and present continuous. Yes. Again, it doesn't mean that it, like Damiano-san said, there's more to this because, 存在している, it can be like existence. Like 住んでいる。私は日本に住んでいます。I live in Tokyo. I mean, why did I say Tokyo? I live in Japan. 私は日本に住んでいます。I live in Japan, right? Like, you don't say I living in Japan. I guess you can say I'm living in Japan, but like when you exist, when something exists, you can also use ている. And so 生きている, I'm alive. I am currently living. 死んでいる死んでいます。If I use ing for that, it means like you are in a process of dying, like, I'm dying. But no, like you have been dead. Like I am dead, like something is dead. And that state of deathness is continuing on. So there's a bit of a difference between the actual ing form in English and this, but hope that helps. So I am existing in Japan, married too. 結婚しています Yes, I am married. I don't say I am marrying. 結婚しています I am in a state of marriage. So imagine this more as, I guess like, in the state of being married, in the state of existing, in the state of death. かな日本人の感覚で使ってて説明しにくい箇所っぽい。感覚難しいですよね。これがね、母語話者と学習する人の大きな違い。大きな違い。Good point for pointing out marriage, Jay-san. That was a really good point. Oh, I learned about how ている form can be used to either express an action in progress or the result of an action. Yes, depending on the verb. Exactly. So when it comes to like marriage, the action has already taken place. Death, the action has... I don't know if death is supposed to be classified as an action, but like the state has already happened. So This is a hard one, isn't it? But as long as you kind of get the embodiment of how it works, I think you're good. So your current state, like I am in a state of sleep deprivation. Yes. Yes. 睡眠不足になっています。とかね。Well, in this case, you just say 睡眠不足です。But yes. Your current state continuous form. So that's ている. When you change that into a massive form is ています. Post. Always remember, massive form can be like talking about your present state, but in many cases, it is going to be pointing at the future. It's not necessarily like future tense. Again, it's really hard to compare different languages, especially languages that is so different like Japanese and English, but it's always nice to have something that might work something similar to it because we already have that knowledge of the other language. So, はい。です。だってね、こうやってね、私長く撮っちゃうんですよ。よくない。ごめんなさい、起きちゃったんだけど、学校の会議があるのを来週お会いしましょう。お疲れ様です。OK。うそみさんですね。主語というと、I とか she とか they とかのあれですよね。英語は主語を省略しないのですよね。そうです。主語は一体どこに、もしかして私何がすごい勘違いをしていた？主語がない。Preparation for これ難しいやつですね。主語とは何ぞや。これ主語ありますよ。準備が主語ですね。これ、主語って何？私は文章のテーマだって考えることが多いです。自分がテーマにならない。人がテーマにならない文章も多くありますよね。多くありますよね。違う。多くありますよね。例えば、この場合、テーマは準備。つまり、主語は最初に来ている準備なんです。はい。ということで、これね、post. And look, I don't know if you can see, I see myself, I see me. 私のアクスタが、私がいる。That makes me so happy. Preparation for the lesson for the day after tomorrow isn't done. So, I think this is something that a lot of us Japanese people sometimes get confused in English. You know how Japanese is a language that we often, not like get rid of, but just don't say the subject of the sentence. We often don't say I, watashi wa. We don't often say like kare wa. We don't really say like kanojo wa to begin with. Again, Japanese is a language that the subject of the sentence often like goes away and we just don't talk about it. English though. English on the other hand, one of the biggest struggles that we Japanese people have is to make sure that we actually state the subject of like when we talk in English. So hard, in other words, you like, you know, non-native Japanese speakers, you who are still learning Japanese, sometimes the reason why some of you might sound very foreignery or like non-native might be because of the fact that you might say the subject all the time. Like, you might say, watashi wa a lot, ore wa a lot, boku wa a lot. In reality, a lot of us, we just don't say things like that. It just happens once in a while type of a thing. Like once every, I don't know, 10, 11 sentences. Depends on the conversation. But, so, in our minds, in us Japanese people's minds, like the idea, shugo, the subject of the sentence, is really hard to sometimes grasp. Usomi-san is going through that exact thing right here. Usomi sounds like, so shugo, subjects are supposed to be like I, she, they, right? And I know that in English, you always state the shugo, the subject, but I don't see it here. And that's something that a lot of us do have struggles with, like, because we think that subjects are always I, but in reality it is not, right? I always like to think of subjects as the theme of the sentence, like what you're talking about. And so in terms of that, this sentence, preparation for the lesson for the day after tomorrow isn't done. Preparation is supposed to be the shugo, the subject. But because of this underlining idea that that is within us cognitively almost, which is not necessarily true, that subjects are usually I's, we sometimes have these confusions. But just wanted to point that out because it's really interesting to see how different our struggles are depending on what our native tongue is. You know, I'm a native speaker, but I tend to forget to type it and I, and my sentence is why. English can have omissions, but it used way less often. Way less often. Way less often. Yeah, it's really interesting. そう、これね、私こういうの大好きなんですよね。主語っていうのは実は私だけではなくて他のものにもなるんですけど、あまりにも主語イコール私、彼、彼女っていうイメージが強すぎて他のものが主語になり得るっていうのを我々日本語話者って意外と忘れちゃったりするんですよね。In that sense, it's a bit similar to Spanish. We also omit the subject a lot because the way we conjugate the verbs already implies it in many instances. Oh, interesting. Do you think that might be another reason why a lot of Japanese people do way better in Spanish than in English? I don't know. I know that Spanish is also an SVO sentence, has an SVO sentence structure, right? Really interesting. So, okay, this is time for you to become the teacher. What is the difference between two and two? And pronunciation wise, I know there isn't much of a difference, two and two. But how would you explain the difference between these in a way that will be easy for a non-native speaker to understand? Or in other words, try to think that you're trying to explain this to a 3-year-old. That is the golden rule. When you try to teach somebody, try to speak in a way that even a 3-year-old would understand. That is always the golden rule. はい、これどうでしょう？ 2 と 2 何が違うの？まあ感覚で分かってたり説明することはできるかもしれないけど、実際説明するとなるって難しいですよね。ノリ的には日本語のおーみたいな感じなのでしょうか？ちょっと違うんですよね。そう。I mean, I don't know if this will be on the screen. I don't want people to see my answers. あ、ダメだ。答えが。In Polish, we also omit subject. Oh, nice! Omitting subject sisters or brothers. This is pretty hard. 2 と2. The direction, the number 2 or the 2, that means also. 分類外に刺さる。飲みすぎやエノドリの前借り、寿命の前借り。これ多分私の作ったショート動画ですね。To means also and more than needed. Then what is to? The direction to also, and then the number 2. Okay, I think we got a pretty good answer. Let's write that. なんと意味が違います。意味が全然違うんです。日本語のどこ？ Oh, there you go. By the way, do you know the difference between the two O's in Japanese? まに来る場合は、前者は美化語。言葉をきれいにする、より丁寧に言うための言葉ですね。後者は助詞になります。英語の to と to は使用用途が違うんです。O and O, yes. O and O. It used to be pronounced wo and O. One thing to keep in mind is that after World War II, a lot of things changed. Until then, Japan was pretty much a mess in many different ways. Education was also not necessarily stabilized. And so after World War II, there's a lot of things that got set. And one of them was, for example, hiragana, how to use katakana and stuff. And this is when these two, the pronunciation also got not changed, but basically it was set to be this is O by the government. The first O that Super Blast Sun has typed out apparently used to be pronounced wo. Some people still pronounce it wo. I pronounce it o. I think it also has to do with your generation and also where you're from within Japan. But it's easier to just pronounce it o. The difference between these two is in the usage. The first o, or the wa o n o, is only used as a particle in the Japanese language. You will never really see this in anything, including any words. The other o, a u e o, can be seen in a lot of different different words, or if you put that in front of a word, in front of a noun, there's only certain types of words that you can put o onto. But it makes the word more polite. I know it feels really weird, doesn't it? Making a noun more polite, but that is the usage of it. So, Gleipner-san, have a great day, everyone, and good luck to those sticking with the challenge. Good luck with life. You can do this, Gleipner-san. Oh, this might help. To will come before verb, and to will end the sentence. Oh, this is cheating and may not be 100% correct. No, but I like it. To is simpler, I think. Me too means watashi mo, and its usage is synonymous to as well. The expression would be, where does this point to? True. That's a question. Oh, yeah. That's really nice. Thank you. That I've never really made the connection. So this is why I like streams. So, to は矢印をイメージしてみてください。to は going to school 学校に行く。動詞、行動がどこに向いているかを示せます。to also もthis. Sorry, I'm running out of space. Okay, we'll go with this. And then we will add few quotes. これは絶対にこうなるわけではじゃないのですが、これいいな。そう。Oh, I watched a video about the history of the Japanese language and how crazy the usage is until post-World War II. It was also because, it wasn't really, each state area of Japan had so many different usages. Even the accents were so different. I don't think there really was a way for the country to come together in terms of the language. And then, you know, I guess post-war the government finally decided that education was important. Stupid. Sorry. Education is always supposed to be the priority, especially in terms of like teaching children. But like a lot of times, a lot of governments tend to forget that or underestimate the power of good education and how necessary that is for world peace. Oh well. Humans are stupid. Okay. Learned how katakana was decided to be used with foreign loanwords. Yeah, that was only until like pretty recently, wasn't it? 2 has more usages, like from 1 to 10 or 2 exist. True. 2. Oh, but I think, so what I explained, the way I like to explain it, is that 2 is often used like an arrow, like from 1 to 10. Like, you know, imagine that you substitute 2 with an arrow, 1 to 10. That makes sense. 2 exists, it doesn't. So we do have to add that on. But for example, going to school, go, arrow, school, it will still make sense. So I like to think of a lot of words as symbols because although it's not always right, it's just easier to get the feel of the word. So I like to explain it as arrows too. 2. Oh, well, I'll still add that. は、存在。2には、他にも使い方があります。あ、わかんない。これかなです。そう。I have too much existence. We all have too much existence. So. Yeah, my previous message used points too, so it's basically an arrow. Arrow is easier. Actually, no, I want to keep existing. Please keep on existing. 2. Oh, sorry, I just touched the mic. 2はsorry, I touched the mic again. 2は文末に来ることがほとんどです。私も的な使い方。他の生徒さんがコメントいただきました。笑顔が出ない。OK。Oh my gosh, it's almost 11:30. ちょっと待って、時間が足りない。We still have not enough time. Okay. Thank you for your participation. So, the mic is acting up. I'm acting up. Aloy-san, thank you for joining, and thank you so much for what you were doing. Like, I saw a lot of your posts. They're amazing. And sorry, I just realized we might not have enough time to go through all the posts because you all have been doing so good. Okay. Do I need to be more specific in second sentence? Like, 私の難しいこと without me things that are difficult to me? Yes. Damiano-san. No? Okay, I understand that no is so nice. It feels like you can always put no in no matter what and it will just make sense, but sometimes no doesn't fit the context. Why? No? When do you use no? Only after a noun, right? In this case, things that are difficult to me. 私にとって難しいことです。If you want to say something that is difficult to me, things that are difficult to me, you have to say 私にとってにとって for me です。I know. See, this is why I didn't hand in my homework. Why? You don't want to be corrected? Being corrected is the fastest way to get better though. Maybe follow up stream part 3, part 2 at some point maybe. そう。これね、難しいんですよ。のってね、大人気なの。のって何にでもつけて使えるような気がするんですよ。ただのってね、名詞にしかつかないんですよね。考えてみて。富士山の水。私の宿題。ね。私の難しいこと。はね、ダメなんですよ。Like in this case, yes, it does go on to the noun, but 私の my hard things. Things that are difficult to me. Things that are considered to be difficult by me, I guess. Or like for me. 私にとって for me. I just cheat and just never use particles. Yeah, that's a big cheat. Making set mistakes is the best way to learn. Oh, this is one thing I used to do, or I might still do it sometimes. Sometimes I make my goal not to be my actual goal. Like I don't make my actual goal my goal. So for example, just say that I want to get better at a certain language. Well, okay. This is not necessarily what I would suggest to many people, but there was a time that I tried to do sales, okay? Didn't go well. I'm an introvert. Hated it. And it was during COVID. Hated it even more. I hate doing sales, but I had to do it because that's where the money was. So, what did I make my goal to be? I didn't make my goal to get like 10 commissions or something, or like to get 10 contracts. No, my goal was to get rejected 30 times. Because my rejection is not going to make me sad. That's going to be that's going to bring me closer to my goal. And in the as I went forward, I would actually get some commissions or contracts, and that was going to actually accomplish my actual goal, if that makes sense. So that can be used for many things, including studying. You can even make something like make 10 mistakes a day a goal, and in the meantime you're gonna learn. If you really don't like corrections, just make getting corrections your goal. Get 10 corrections a day, study that, you're good to go for the next day, you know? My little tip. So, beautifying prefix. 名前を particle 教えてください。さっきのはそういうことか。そうです。そう。So, 200 IQ strategy. Such a good strategy. Since it's all something like, I'll take 10. そう、これちなみになんですけど、今ね、これ、間違い訂正されるの苦手って方たくさんいらっしゃると思うので、これにね、こういうね、お話ばっかりに時間取ってて申し訳ないなって思うんですけど、これはマジで使えるから聞いてほしい。私一回営業みたいなことしたことあるんですよ。すぐ辞めたけど、すぐ移動したけど、無理です、みたいな。私向いてないです、みたいなね。思って、すぐ辞めたんですけど、ちょっと営業っぽいことしたことあるんですよ。営業って契約を何件取るかってのが目標でしょ？でもね、そういう目標だと私うまくいかないの。だから何を目標にしたかって、例えば10件の契約を取るじゃなくて30件断られるっていうのを私の目標にしたわけです。で、私は物に釣られやすいから、例えば30件断られたらこのお洋服買っちゃおうみたいなね。Oh, by the way, when I say I made 30 rejections a goal, I made sure that I had something in the end for me. Getting this new dress that I really want type of deal. そしたら別に断られてもうっしゃってなるわけですよね。特に私の場合最後にね馬の人参じゃないですけれどもぶら下がってたから欲しいものが本当そういうの大事。これって全然いろんなものに応用できると考えておりまして、例えばねこういう場合こうやって皆様言語学習してますってなった時に間違い訂正されるの嫌だなじゃなくて例えば間違いを10個犯すみたいなね、そういうのを目標にしちゃってついでに自分にご褒美あげちゃえばいいんですよ。そしたらうまくいくから。Also, tests we all hate tests, especially when it goes on our grade, right? But keep in mind, in many cases, tests are also for the teacher. Tests is also for the teacher so that we know that, like, we know what part of our teaching wasn't being responded well or being like accepted well. We can then know like what we can do, which part of our teaching we can do better. Obviously, there's a part that the students can know, like what part of the entire process like they're lacking in, but tests and homework is there for both teachers and the students so that we all know what to work on next. It's really hard when you don't even know what to work on next. But when you make a mistake, when you get a feedback, you know exactly what you can work on next, because being corrected at something, changing that is the easiest way to grow. It's so much harder. Like, imagine that you are a character in a game, right? Just say that you already have like level 50 in your sword skills, but you're at like level 1 in your axe skills. Which one are you going to try to get better at if you actually need all of them to defeat the final boss? You're going to work on the axe because that's your weakest point, and that's probably going to be the fastest way for you to grow. So keep that in mind. ちゃんとやった失敗をご褒美に言っていいですね。いいでしょう? I actually didn't mind tests, especially when I didn't do my homework. Tests was how I kept my grades up way back in school. Whoa, you're cool. Relatable. Dang, you guys. I don't know if you need me. Okay. そう。ジメジメしているがGoingから始まるのいまいちピンときません。おー、これいいですね。これは going to be ですね。OK。いい質問多いな。これもいい質問。疑問。これはジメジメしている。OK。これうそみさんの質問なんですけど、ジメジメしてるが going から始まるのいまいちピンときませんってことなんですけど、これはね、ジメジメしているじゃなくて going to be、 これをセットで覚えた方がいいです。ですね、英語であろうと何語であろうと一番いいっていうか一番効率がいいのが言葉ごとで覚えるのではなくてセットで覚えちゃうことなんですよね。グループとしてチャンクとして覚えること。なんか最近ね、私も YouTube でチャンクで覚えようみたいな広告が流れたりするんですけど、あれは全然理にかなってるし、そういう教授法も実際あったりするんですよ。それはどういうことかっていうと、例えば I だけを覚えるんじゃなくて I am で覚えようみたいな感じでね、日本語の場合勉強だけで覚えるんじゃなくて勉強しますって覚えるみたいな、そうやってセットで覚えることによって実際実用性が得られるっていうか、使用する際にもっと使いやすくなるんですよね。っていうことで、これは going to be で覚えた方がいいと思うんですけどね。ってことで書きましょう。これはジメジメしているというよりも going to be が何を指す言葉のまとまりか、チャンクか。あれ Why can I not type? を理解するのが早いかも。going to be はまとめて合わせてなるであろう、なるだろうといった将来未来を表す言葉のまとまりなんです。 ってことで、これで質問の答えになったらいいな。Of course we need you, you sure? That said, I do regret not taking school more seriously. Me too. Okay, we're so running out of time. ちょっと待って、やばい。思ってたより時間がない。そう。ガチャは英語圏でも通じると聞いたことがありますが、そう、ガチャはね、ガチャゲームズはね、そうそうそう。よし。ごめんなさい。We are running out of time. So, I'm going to try to maybe like pick 2 more posts. ごめんなさい。ちょっとね、あと2、3ポスト、見ようかな。まだ味わっておりません。The natural response doesn't feel weird. I actually answered this on YouTube, I believe. ごめんなさい。これ多分 YouTube のコメントの方でお返事したので、いきます。We're here, right? I'm sure. Yeah. 麻雀。はい。まず、これやばい。私が麻雀わからない。私が、麻雀、わからない。あら。合っているかもどうか。わからない。I don't understand mahjong. I don't know mahjong, so I can't even tell if this is right. But I think you are right. And this is impressive. 麻雀すごい。Maybe I'll learn one day. いつかね。勉強します。Okay. Oh, Super Blast Sun. Here you go. Kind of fell off after 11 days. It's okay. I kind of fell off after like the first week. Okay. I'm back at with fresh new routine. I even got started nice and early and not late at night. What? Gotta try catch him up. But I think it's best that I don't really worry too hard about it. Yes. What's important is that you're... Yes. That's what's important. I'm gonna retweet that. 素晴らしい. Got a new Japanese textbook yesterday. Yes! Can't wait to try it out. But for now, some vocab. Tips on using textbooks. Don't get a new textbook until you finish using the one you already have. You are on the right track. Okay. This is not directed to Astro Meido-san, but to everyone. Okay, this is one thing I want you to know. Buying textbooks is not studying. Just get one textbook, perfectly finish that, and then you can move on. これ、素晴らしい。新しい日本語の教科書買ったんですって。素晴らしいですね。でもね、これね、教科書とかいろんなものを使ういろんな方に言いたいこと。教科書を買うイコール勉強ではないんですね。参考書を買うイコール勉強ではないんですね。実際、使い切って、使い込んで、使い切って初めて勉強になるので、新しい教科書はそれまで買わないようにしましょうね。先生、do you sort the post by top or latest? Latest. So, I don't go through all though. So, can't really say I learned anything important, but I did learn that ex-wife and appetizer sounds the same in Japanese but different kanji. What? 元妻？元妻？元奥さん？元妻？ What is that? Ex-wife, appetizer, 前菜？あ、前菜！ No, you're right! 本当だ！前菜と前菜、appetizer。食事の前っていうか、前の、菜の前菜と前の奥さんの前菜とそういうことね。Subscribing to Sensei helps too. Yeah, that probably helps. あ、そうそう。四国にかかってるよ。そうです。そうなんです。Okay, next. Any はいくつかの見た目だと認識されますが、否定文の中で使うと一つもないになるの面白い。そう。これ面白いですよね。Any を否定形で使うと、冷蔵庫に入れてたプリンがいくつかなくなっているみたいになるかと思ったら、プリンが一つもないでした。悲しい。これいいですね。これ素晴らしいリポスト。 なんもない。This one, I think is a great post. Usomi-san figured out that when you combine any and negative, it becomes like zero, like none. I think this is something that is sometimes like hard to realize if you're a native speaker, but something that we figure out while like we are studying and we go, what? There isn't any pudding in the fridge. That means there's no pudding. Not hardly any. Man, this heat is no joke today, melting away the entire day. We even have a heat wave warning. Oh, I feel for you. Started playing VN in Japanese. I don't know what VN is, but cool. And once again, getting help from ChatGPT. I'll go through a scene, trying my best to understand what is happening and give a summary of it to ChatGPT. And it helps me out by telling me how accurate I am. Kind of neat. That is so neat. You know, we can use AI. A visual novel. I see. This is a great use of AI. Yes, we can take on generative AI. Will I get canceled for saying this? Images or stealing. Artist works, but AI for language study. This is technology. Used perfectly. Yes. ということで、これ面白いですよ。ビジュアルノベルを読んで、その内容をチャット GPT に入力して自分の理解が合ってるかっていうのを確認しながら読んでる。こういう AI の使い方が本物であるべきだと私は思います。はい。出ましたね。日本語だと収録してしまう主語。短い文章なのに主語が文頭と中間の2回も出てきて、しかも we か you のどっちも使うかを考えるなんて。そうそうそう。we だと、私たち、私含めなのが you だとあなたもしくはあなたたちになるため、自分も頑張るみたいなのとちょっと上から教師目線だったりする上から目線みたいな違いがありますわ。お持ちですけどね。Okay. Okay. As expected of a Japanese, even their homework must be presented so... You're kind of right. 確かに。Well, I mean, like, the only person so far that is posting is Usomi-san. So it might be a Usomi-san thing, but you're kind of right. 確かに。でも確かにね。そうなのかも。実際ね、このポストをして、このタグ使ってポストしてくださってるのがUsomiさんだけではあるんですけれども、確かに日本人はこういう写真を撮る宿題を提出する際においてもすごいきちんとしてることにこだわる節はありますよね、きっとね。That's interesting. That's a really good That's a really good point. 間違いというとミステイクのイメージでしたが、wrong と使い分けが難しそうですね。Oh, what is the difference between wrong and a mistake? Ooh. Mistake, error, and wrong. What are the differences? In my mind, wrong is like 100% wrong. Like, it's bad. Mistake is like an easy fix. Like, it's like oops. And then error is that it's a error, well, at least in language education, error is considered something that is a mistake that occurs frequently, that like someone has memorized the mistake as the right way. But what do you think? これですね、wrong と mistake の違いは何でしょうか? Wrong is more broad? Oh, might be. I put my textbook on my bed for best light and then adjust the colors before uploading to make it easier to read. Thank you, that actually helps a lot. I'll frame my homework next time, sprinkled with fairy dust on a non-existent unicorn tail. Can you make it the unicorn horn? Because I heard that those are like magical. Mistake is unintentional. True. Wrong is related to judgment, morality. Mistake and error are synonyms. By the way, did you know, in terms of like linguistics, there's a huge difference between mistake and error. I think like I said, mistake is something that happens unintentionally and it's an easy fix. Like, just say that you're learning a new language and you make a mistake, even though you know that it's wrong, and you go, oh no, sorry, I know that was wrong, my bad. That is a mistake. Error is something that one, like, just say that one memorized it wrongly, that, you know, like the particle o, just say that one memorized that it's the other o and keeps on using the other o for the particle o. That would be an error linguistically. So okay. I would say wrong is a lot more harsh. Mistake, just say that like, you know, imagine an internet troll coming at you. Like, you are wrong versus you made a mistake. Which one sounds harsher? I would definitely say you are wrong is a lot more harsher. It's like you said, like, you know, morality. It's like something that is very bad. Mistake, on the other hand, it's like, you know, people know that it's unintentional. So I think that's one of the biggest differences. Error sounds more stuff than mistake. Yeah, I guess like mistake is the lightest of all. Are there nuances like this in Japanese too? Oh, Japanese is full of nuances. Where connotation matters a lot. Yes. Wrong,悪い, to make a mistake, 間違える. Ooh, that's a good one. Wrong is innocent. Incorrect. Mistake is an action not done correctly. I don't know. I can't explain it too good. No, I think that's good enough. Okay, I think Damiano-san got it really good though. Wrong is 悪い, to make a mistake is 間違える. So let's write this down. Let's wrong, mistake, wrong. これは結構やばいです。how do you say morality in Japanese? 道徳的か。道徳的に間違ったり、簡単に直すことができない。かつ、ような悪い間違いみたいなイメージがあります。mistake。これはシンプル間違い。うっかりって感じです。wrong だと炎上。mistake だと Twitter のポスト編集で済むみたいな感じ。Honestly, I never really thought of the differences. Overall, when using the same meaning, the difference is tone and nuance. Yeah, those tone and nuances is what makes a language though. Day 114 of you learning Japanese. Practice with using purpose of movement and counting. Ooh, somehow the hardest part was remembering how to write 11.6 million. I think I got it through. Oh my gosh. Counting in a different language, like numbers in a different language is so hard. これ本当にいつも思うんですけど、数字って本当難しいですわよ。I still can't count in English. 私本当に1万超えると英語で数えられない。Like, if the number goes above 10k, like, I just can't. Like, my brain just stops functioning. So, but wrong can be used more broadly to mean other stuff than mistake. True. Because mistake is something that is very, like, a simple error. Something that you did it unintentionally, and I feel like mistake is an easy fix. Sure. Okay, my voice is starting to... なんか久しぶりにこうやって話してたら喉がやられてきましたね。Okay, sorry. 呪術廻戦、俺たちは全身全霊で世界に存在している。当たり前すぎてみんな忘れてしまったことだ。呪術廻戦。Oh, I should have reposted those. 待って、リポストすればよかった。ごめんなさい。Numbers are not fun. Most people use their native language to do math all the time. That's one very interesting thing, isn't it? Whenever there's a polyglot, like somebody who just doesn't, well, I guess more of like, not a polyglot, like multilingual person who really can speak a lot of languages, I usually ask them like how they do math, like which language they use to like do math, and I feel like that is probably their mother tongue or like their first language. For example, Master, my husband, like it's really hard to determine like what language he uses, like the most or the best. And turns out that I actually asked him this question and it wasn't English, and I was like, what? Very interesting. I'm not gonna say what language, but very interesting. Okay. French has the worst counting. To say 99, you say 4 times 20 plus 19. Really? 待って、フランス語で数数えることこんなにやばいの？ 99のことは 4×20 足す19らしいですよ。大丈夫、フランス。I use Chinese when counting rather than English because it's shorter. It has to do with the shortness, huh? Okay. Learning the rules of informal form, and there's a ton to remember. Sounds like I'll be using formal speech 99% of the time. With these requirements, this informal form is family/friends. The 1% is when I'm practicing it, of course. Good point. How do you guys review vocabulary? Because I might need some help with that. My main tip is to read them and try to use them like explaining what the word means or making sentences right before going to bed. You wake up and do the same thing. That is considered one of the best ways for your brain to grasp and remember. Okay. Considered. Well, good. Practicing negative and formal form because the rules on that one is pretty difficult. Practicing something that is difficult sometimes is extremely hard, so I'm really proud of you. That's cool. Using の後に red wine を持ってきたくなりますが、あくまでも使いたいのは赤ワインではなくて赤ワインで煮たリンゴなんですよね。感覚がバグりそう。素晴らしい。古本屋ってセカンドハンドブックストアなのですね。ファンにとって第二の人生は本線みたいな感じでいい。オールドブックストアだと古書店的な感じになってしまいます。オールドブックストアだとシンプル古い本屋さんになりますわね。オールドブックストアだとシンプルに、例えば建物 古い本屋みたいになりますわ。OK。喉がやばい。声が。Sorta, kinda. As you can see this actually from the 26th and just forgot to post. All my momentum has died, but I haven't given up. I still intend to study. You can do this. ってことで、OK. Oh, OK. Sorry, I know that was like really fast, but gotta get going. ごめんなさい。なんか最後ね、ちょっと、チャチャチャーンって感じで終わっちゃいましたけれども、ちょっと喉がやばいのでそろそろ行きます。Sometimes I skip the language and think in numbers. How? What? English used to have that too, hence why Lincoln said 77 years ago, meaning 87 years. Sometimes I'm glad that like we can, you know, easify languages. Does I have a question regarding Backstage? How do we find there? I have it installed, but it's all in Japanese and I see no search function other than message. I actually posted a link. Sorry, my voice. I actually posted a link to my profile on my past stream, but I will post the link to me and the English user guide on Twitter after this stream before I go to bed. So I can try that really quick. Wait. Sorry, I don't have my link yet. I'll find it. Thank you. This is the user manual. Sorry, this is the English user manual. Hehe. Hi. Sorry. So, hope this helps. I broke the link. You broke the link. Oh, I think you can't actually post a link if you are not a moderator. Sorry. ということでちょっとごめんなさい。最後すごい駆け足だったんですけれども、本日ここら辺で終わります。はい。ということでちょっと久しぶりのね、配信だったんですけれども、本日皆様お越しいただきましてありがとうございました。Again, I really apologize for not being able to stream that often lately. As I said on like Twitter, I am a little bit more caught up with my studies, so I should be able to stream a little bit more in the future. And that being said, it will be great if you could bear with me with my bad schedule. I will try to post my schedules more often, or I will try to, I don't know, like do as much. Hi. But yes, I will most likely stream tomorrow for my level 3 members because I need to do a membership stream, and yes, the new wallpaper is gonna come up for the month of July. で、明日なんですけれども、あれはあります。夜なんですけれどもね、年始限定の配信やります。なんと7月が来ちゃうんで、あんまり認めたくないけど7月来ちゃうので、はい。7月が来るので、配信をします。活動報告をします。って感じで少しずつね、またいろいろ配信していけたらいいなと思うんですけれども、まあ、しばらくは Twitch の方でね、もお会いできたらと思います。It will be great if you could join me on Twitch again, because that's probably where I will be spending my time. 嫌だ、ほんと嫌だ。I've been practicing reading a bunch. Good! Yay! Proud of you. お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。久しぶりです、マリノさん。Okay. If you could like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the bot, I would really appreciate it. Again, feel free to check the Backstage bot because that is where all the information is in terms of being able to get private lessons from me. I'll try to make a comment on it so that I can post my personal link there too. I didn't use Twitch very much. I don't use Twitch very much. It's okay. Like, the only thing I'll be doing will be like study with me streams, so... Hi, thank you so much tonight for the 101 lesson update and study with Mizuki. Thank you. ありがとうございます。Okay, go ahead, write your names, and I am going to read them out loud. I mean, not write your names. Pause up. 挙手していただけたら皆様のお名前読みます。で、終わったら私寝ます。皆様も寝なさい。喉やばい。ちょっと待って、配信ってこんなに喉やられるんでしたっけ？ I really forgot how bad your voice gets after streaming. Like, I really forgot how it was like. こんなに喉ってか声持ってかれるの忘れてましたわよ。忘れてた。では、ここら辺から読もうかな。デルビナさん、ダミアノさん、マリノさん、セラさん、ジェイさん、スーパーブラストさん、ハッキーさん、カイさん、ナットユーさん、ルッドウィックさん、タイムトゥトゥローさん、ダミアノさん、ごきげんよう。おやすみなさい。I shall see you again soon. Yeah. It was great. I really there's so many games I want to play though. Like, I will see if I can find the time to. いや、実際ね、プレイしたいゲームとかもあるので、できるだけ頑張って時間は作れたらと思います。Drink some lemonade. It soothes the throat while talking a lot. Will do. I need to get those stuff. では、おやすみなさい。Good night. I shall see you again soon. Bye.